examples for that, showing vulnerability. I remember that Camilla was telling us that how there is a small percentage of women that are investing, small percentage of women being in the men's world, quote unquote. And with Sara, when we're still talking about, how as a woman today, it's hard to find your own voice. How was it for you? How was your journey?
My journey of finding my own voice was actually like unlearning all that I've been through, or like all that I was taught as a little girl here in Norway. You're taught to be smaller, be quieter, be less, sit down, raise your hand if you have something to say. And of course, you shall bring the respect to the table of everywhere you go. But also, like, when you finally like unlearn those things, you will finally earn yourself a side on the table. You will give yourself space to grow, to expand your ideas. You will believe in yourself to like explode in what you have inside of you instead of like waiting for your turn to be said. And also, like, when you're in meetings and with people, like, good ideas comes with maybe one bad idea at first. So just like being honest and true to yourself to unlearn everything that we had and be like a woman in this strong way.
So it kind of aligns with what Stian was saying earlier in terms of like, we need to be bold. Yeah. That's really good. We need to be bold, not just as women. I think everybody in here needs to be more bolder than when we came today, hopefully. But Marian, what do you feel like, what do you think that needs to change for more women to dare to start on their own? Because, Camilla was motivating us, especially as women, to invest, but also start on our own as entrepreneurs.
Yeah, well, I think first we need to start to change the story around starting. You don't need the perfect time to start. Ideas often grow after you begin. Women need more access to real conversations, supportive networks, and role models that shows you can do it all by yourself or in your own way. And last year, I had a small conversation, and it led me to this stage today. And so that learned me that small steps can open big doors for me, and I will definitely continue with that in the future.
Because last year, actually, for those of you that do not know, these lovely ladies attended NIEC. And I wasn't here myself, but I pushed them all. I said, you need to get out there and you need to network, you need to talk to people. It might be scary, but you need to do that. And I didn't say that because you're women. And I say that because you're individuals that I as a lecturer care about. And it kind of aligns a little bit with what was said earlier in terms of like, sometimes you need to believe in yourself and you need to push. So what is it, Sara? Do you feel that you have to prove yourself more? And I'm asking you this question because you have been working in mainly male-dominated career and environments.
100%, yeah. I feel like I have to prove myself a lot more, not especially just because I'm a girl, but because I'm young as well. And I actually make peace with that. And I don't call it only just like to prove myself more, but like for me, it's to go inwards and to scale up, to sharpen myself up and earn my place in the room, especially with male-dominated workplaces. You have to learn that women and men work completely different. You have men who are super straightforward, get straight to the point, and we have women that goes a little bit around the bushes. You take consideration about other people's feelings. But when I was in meeting with men where all my strategy, because I work in digital marketing, and every time I need to like perform or say about my strategic thinking and what I'm thinking about doing, if I had a set plan, how I'm going to do it, how we're going to do it, what scale, what we're going to measure with the KPIs, and what we're going to bring back, they would have so much more respect for me. And also just because like I needed to push my ideas so hard. So now that I can realize, like, you see that people from my workspace are actually coming to me with questions. They didn't do that beforehand at all because they know that I will have a direct answer straight away. And I would not think about their feelings. Well, of course, a little bit when you have respect. But at the same time, like, you have to trust yourself. So I feel like 100% prove myself, but I would rather call it like sharpen myself up for myself and how to communicate more with diversity in workplaces.
And that really aligns very well with what Camilla was saying about having respect for those that are around you, but also not, I don't want to say demanding that respect, but that respect should also be mutual. Isn't that a lady boss over there? And Yuna, I know that you have an experience in your life that became a turning point for you. Can you share a little bit about that with us?
Yeah, of course. So 2 years ago, I had the chance to travel to China with my previous partner as an assistant. And throughout these weeks or during these weeks, I quietly observed how they was talking in the meetings and yeah, just how everything kind of worked. And at the end of the trip, it was time to go to a beauty factory because they wanted to expand to a beauty brand. And here I all of a sudden became very valuable because I had worked in the beauty industry for 6 years with huge brands like Chanel, and I'm also a part of the target group where we was going to sell to. So what was supposed to me to be like a assistant trip actually ended up with me being like leading the meetings in the end and be like, this is not the texture we're looking for, guys. And uh, then I was understanding that I'm not only here to assist, I'm actually valuable, I'm needed, and I'm contributing. And that gave me like a lot of confidence to take up space.
And the confidence boost we all need. Yeah. And when Camilla was motivating us women in the audience in terms of like starting on our own, but also investing, Stian was also challenging, the Norwegian system in terms of how hard it is to grow a company here. Marian, what do you think it takes for more women? What do you think it would take for more women to take risks and become entrepreneurs, especially in Norway?
Well, in Norway, I think the culture plays a big role. We still feel traces of janteloven, which is the idea that you shouldn't take much place, you're not better than anyone else, which can make risk feel heavier for women. It's not about lacking courage, it's about how we were taught to prepare, to plan, and to avoid failing publicly. So to change that, we need to celebrate ambition. We need to normalize small failures and make environments where women feel supported and not judged. And I really recognize this in my own experience because I switched from I changed my study path from economic to entrepreneurship, which felt like I was moving from something that felt really safe to something uncertain. And I had a lot of thoughts. What if I'm doing the wrong? What if this is wrong? What will my parents think? What will my friends think? And I think a lot of women feel it that way. We don't just calculate risk; we feel it. So, which is why creating environments where we feel we can try, we can change direction, and stuff like that, it matters. Yeah.
I want to jump a little bit ahead and I want to ask all of you actually. How do you, because we have heard earlier that, success is defined by XYZ, there are formulas. Mr. Gordon talked about formulas as well. But how do you personally define success with one word? What would you say?
Well, I would say alignment. When success is when my values, my work, and my creativity all point in the same direction. I want to look back when I'm 80 years or breathing my last breath and be proud of myself and everything I've done.
100% agree with Marian in that one. Like my word is integrity, I would say. So just like aligning myself to who I'm self. I want to be proud of myself when I'm like older and look back. Like I took those choices 100% for myself, and it was a happy choice and it was a good choice in the long term.
I would say happiness because if I'm happy in life, then I'm definitely doing something right. Then I'm working with what I want and I'm living the life I would want. Yeah, and mine is doing what you love.
And I know the discussion is short, but before we leave before we leave, I was gonna, where we leave each other. And of course, all of you in the audience are welcome to continue discussions with the ladies here. But I want to end the discussion with one last question. What kind of a world do you hope that Generation Z will help create?
Oh, I hope and I believe that our generation will not only like question all systems, or we will question them instead of destroying them. Like we will rebuild them with better foundation, defined by transparency, ethics, like everything that's been changing with us, and bring that to the new generation to shift the world from efficiency driven to purpose driven. I hope.
Purpose driven. Okay.
Yeah, well, I hope we build a world with fewer borders, not just physical but mental as well. A world where ideas move freely, where technology connects people, and innovation solves real problems. Where leadership is based on empathy and curiosity, and where no one is limited by their background, by their accent or gender. Yeah.
I would say a world where all generations support each other and are open to the new ways of thinking. I would say, no, I hope that Gen Z will create a world that cares more about expressing rather than impressing.
Expressing rather than impressing. And with that, I say thank you.